Welcome back. I'm Gary Parr.
I'm Jennifer Kopaz-Rose.
You're listening to the midweek version of Fiber Talk, the twice-weekly podcast for ground cloth stabbers.
Stabbers and punchers. Don't forget punching with punch needle.
Yes, stabbers and punchers.
Yes.
I keep seeing a leather jacket. Never mind. Let's see. This is Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
So tonight, Jennifer and I are stitching again. But
yes.
Probably stitching on, well, I'm stitching on something different. I think you'll be still doing dawn to dusk, right?
Probably.
You're into it.
I am. I'm really into it. I'm on the brocade part now.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, let's talk about that in a minute.
Right.
All right. So that's tonight. And then Friday night, Beth will be back, and I'm working on a guest. Hope to have a guest for Friday night, but don't have anybody nailed down yet. And then on the 28th, we start the Monday night Hearts. So that's good. We're going to do a live show on the 28th. Beth and I will be, we're planning on a half hour, but Gayanne is going to be with us. Gayanne Rogers is going to be with us. And so we'll get to talk with her about the Patriotic of Hearts. So that half hour show became an hour, easy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Gayanne will be with us, but that'll be the kickoff of our Monday Hearts effort. And after that, it will just be plan on stitching on a heart related project, or just having your heart beating on Mondays and then posting pictures on Instagram. So,
right.
Because we're not going to do a show every week. No, not happening. But next Monday, Gayanne will be with us, so we'll get to learn about the hearts and what was behind designing them and so on and so forth, and get that going. So that'll be good. Now, we've got kind of a shift here. September 30, we were not going to have a Wednesday show, and we're still not going to have a Wednesday show. And then next Friday, this Friday, the 25th, is our last Friday show, because we're moving the Friday show to Sunday for the Fiber Talk Meditates. But we're delaying the Fiber Talk Meditates a week. So
right.
Yeah, so we're going to start that on the 11th. So there will not be shows on September 30, October 2, or October 4. So we'll basically be a week off of live shows. And then on the 7th, Gayanne Rogers is going to come back. Going to have Gayanne Rogers back again, because Gayanne has a new design, and she's going to introduce it on the show.
Mm.
And it's pretty mind-blowing, I have to say.
Yes, it's beautiful.
Yep. Yeah, you're going to like it. So you're going to, yeah. What's that?
Don't miss it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's, you don't want to miss that show. October 7th, Gayanne will be back to introduce a major design, and then she has a couple of small items to go with it. It's a real package, and you're going to want to see it and see what went into designing it and hear the story behind it, because you're going to, it's Gayanne Rogers at her best, no doubt about it. So that'll be the 7th. And then the 11th, Sunday the 11th, 2 o'clock Eastern time, is when Fiber Talk Meditate starts. And the reason we're moving that a week is pure economics. It's really thread. Thread is why. Yes. Kim at Sassy Jacks just cannot guarantee that she can ship out DMC kits for the basket weave design, the Avlia basket weave design that we're doing. She just can't. Threads are just hard to get their hands on it. These shops are just, it's a constant battle. And but as it turns out, Krista West at Avlia is flush with DMC threads, because she made a big purchase and kind of timed it right. So here's what we're going to do. We're moving it to the 11th. Krista West has put together DMC kits for the basket weave design, if you want to do that. She has a Makini, which is from Greece, Makini 30 count fabric, and then DMC floss and the chart, and that is $28 with free shipping. So you get the whole setup, 9x9 table mat. It'll finish to a 9x9 table mat. So you get the floss, the metallic outlining thread, a needle, Makini 30 count fabric, and your choice of one of the 3 colorways. So $28, and that's with shipping included. And that's on her website right now. And so you can get that. And then if you already have ground cloth and or already have the chart, then she has put together floss packs for the 3 colorways, DMC floss packs, and those are 18. So you can get the full kit for 28 or the floss pack for 18 if you have your own ground cloth and chart. And if you don't have your chart, then you're going to have to buy the chart too. But anyway, so those are available on the avlia.life website right now, so you can get those. But we moved it a week because we wanted people to have a chance to order and get the stuff too, because that's and she's on the West Coast, so it takes a while to the East Coast and so on and so forth. So we're doing that. Krista that's already available, so you can go there today and order your kit for the basket weave. If you want to do that as part of the Meditates series, then you can get that from Krista at avlia.life. And then Kim, this is the craziness of it, Kim has plenty of Cosmo thread. Now, she started carrying the full line of Cosmo thread, and I've been playing with some, and it's pretty nice thread. Yeah.
So what is Cosmo thread?
It's a 6-stranded cotton thread.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
just a different brand.
Yeah, it's from Japan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it's very, very nice. Very nice.
Nice.
So what Kim is doing and will offer is she's going to put together kits closely matching the 3 colorways that Krista put together with Cosmo thread. And then, of course, Kim has a wide selection of linens and Ada cloth. And this is a full coverage. You don't really care about your ground cloth color. It doesn't really matter because it's full coverage.
All right.
So she has plenty of cloth, plenty of ground cloth in whatever count you want, and whether you want Ada or linen, and plenty of Cosmo thread. So she's going to put together kits that will match Krista's design in Cosmo thread. And then she is also going to come up with a blue colorway for me.
Yes.
that you can also get. So, and then you can use the Cosmo threads. So Kim will have that at sassyjackstitchery.com. So you can get that. And of course, she has the charts. And if you want to stitch from stash and you just need a piece of ground cloth, or you just need the chart, or you just need the threads, she can fix you up with that. And if you want DMC, Krista West can provide you the kit or just the floss pack. So 2 ways to get what you want if you want to do the basket weave thing. And you can participate in this Meditates thing without doing the basket weave design. The idea is to stitch on a piece of meditative stitching, meaning, and by that we mean something you can stitch without referring to the chart every 2 minutes. You just get a thread and go. So that's going to start on the 11th, 2:00 Eastern time, and those will be live shows on the YouTube channel, and that'll go now 7 weeks because we wanted to finish before Thanksgiving. So I hope that all makes sense.
Yes. So I have a question about that Cosmo thread. Is it shiny like DMC, or is it more matte, or what's the finish like? Shiny
like DMC.
Okay.
Yeah, it has a real nice feel to it. Yeah, I like it. Yeah.
Nice.
And I looked the other day. There's like 400 and some colors, so it's not lacking.
Oh wow! Nice.
Yeah, I think it was 414 is what the number sticks in my head, but a lot. So it's a very, very, very nice thread. And I don't know the price on it. I didn't look because Kim sent me 4 skeins as part of shipment of stuff, and I didn't look at the individual prices of stuff. So I don't know what it costs per skein. But, it's very nice. The stitch is nice, looks nice, and they have some variegated threads, solid colors, variegated, It's a nice line.
Nice. Do you know if it's color fast or
No, I don't know that either.
Does it say on the label?
I'm sure it does. Didn't read it.
Is the label in Japanese or English?
English.
Oh, okay. You never know.
As far as I can tell.
Okay.
I honestly just looked at the thread and
Okay.
stitched a little bit with it and said, "Hey, I like this." So yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't delve into the details there.
Okay.
Pulled it out, stitched with it. Yeah, I like this. It stitches really nice. I mean, it's a very nice 6-stranded cotton. Very nice. Yeah, nice rich colors. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's our deal. So that'll be on the 11th. That runs 7 weeks. Those will be live shows on Sunday afternoon, 2:00. So that's where the Friday live show is going, is to Sunday afternoon through Thanksgiving. And then the Wednesday show will continue on Wednesday. Whew. Probably lost half the audience with all that, but, got to get it in. So
everybody needs to know all the details of what's going on.
So that's your deal.
All right.
And if you want to be a guest on a live show, get in touch with me. Looking for guests. Like to have guests lined up into the future. And so if you're interested, it's real easy to do. Just got to send a few pictures and you get on and we talk about your projects. So it's easy.
Yep. And it's fun.
Yep. And then sometime we're trying to work it out. The Embroiderers Guild Galleries in Sydney, Australia, the October exhibition, we can't do it on the first Wednesday because, what was it? Oh, I'm not available. That's right. Yeah, that was my fault. So the first Wednesday, the opening day, we can't do it, and that's when the artist is going to be there. So April is working on scheduling that for later in October on a Wednesday night, and then we'll see if we can get the artist to be on from her home or wherever she's at. So April's working on that. So we hope to have that later in October, but we will. We're planning to have. If not, we'll just have April do the tour, but we will have the a monthly exhibition from Sydney coming up too. So,
nice. Those are fun. I like those.
I'm really glad we get to do them. Yeah.
Yeah, it's neat. It's fun seeing what other people do. I mean, across the world and.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think isn't that really it? Is just exposure from across the world, from different cultures, different approaches, different countries, and for me, you go, wow, who that's an idea, and maybe a little inspiration there. I don't know, but
because different places have different methods that have come along through the years, and it's fun to see what they do, and then something can spark in your brain, and you get an idea to do something.
Yep. Yeah.
And it's really, I really like it.
Yeah, I'm really, really glad April's willing to do them every month. So,
yeah,
it's, and as I've said, I mean, well, even if you didn't travel to Australia, how many times do you get a chance to go to an exhibition, a needlework, fabric, tapestry exhibition of any kind?
Right.
Even if it's just down the road, how many times do you really get a chance to do it? And I would say not very often for most people. So it's a way to at least see that stuff. And
yeah.
It's good. So we're working that out. We'll get that in October somehow or other. More to come on that. Okay, Dawn to Dusk. Now, you are cooking right along on that little sucker. It's looking good.
Yeah, doing pretty well. Yeah, thanks. So on motif 3, that what's it called? The interwoven Maltese cross?
Yes.
Or whatever. Yeah, that one, if you don't get the base, the gold down right, and you don't get the weaving right, then the top part's not going to come out right when you weave the linen in.
Okay.
So you have to get it, and it does an over, under, and you really have to pay attention. Because I missed one, and I didn't go over or under properly, and then when I was doing my weaving of the linen on top, I was like, oh, I'm not. And you can tell what you'll do is you'll try to go under the way it shows, and then your thread will slip out. And
Oh,
you're like, why is my thread slipping out? Because the base isn't woven correctly to hold the thread in place.
oh, I see. Oh, so that's
Yeah,
why you had to start over with
right.
that. Oh, I
Yeah,
didn't
and
get
so it
that.
was
Yeah, okay.
slipping. Well, so then what I did, I was like, well, let me just go the other way to make it stay. So I manipulated it and did it the opposite of over under that you're supposed to. Because I'm like, well, let me just continue and see how this works out. Maybe I can fudge it. And I tried that. And at the very end, it looked all good till the very end in the center. In the pictures that I put on Instagram and Facebook, you can see in the center how the thread doesn't weave properly and it looks weird in the center.
Mm. Yes.
Yeah, so then I cut it off on the back. So I went to the back because in the back there's only like 4 or 5, how many spots? Let me look. There's maybe 8 spots on the back where it actually goes onto the canvas.
Oh, so everything is on the
back.
surface then.
Yeah, I cut it off on the back, and so then I posted the picture where you can see me holding the little piece, and it's all together because the lacing of the linen threads holds it all together.
Yeah. Yeah, see, I was just skimming through your post and I thought, wow, how does she do that? Okay, so everything is on the surface except for basically some attachment points.
Right, where the gold base layer attaches.
Okay.
And all of that, the white, which is the linen thread, all of that is woven in on top.
So you had to pull it off and do it again.
I did, because it was very obviously like, yeah, that's not right.
Yeah.
So I did it again and I got it right. And then I posted the pictures so you could definitely see what was wrong and what was right.
Oh, yeah, that was a night and day thing. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I was like, oh, yeah, you can really tell.
Yeah,
so,
worth redoing, no question. Yeah.
Right, and you know what? It was actually easier the second time because I had done it once.
Uh-huh.
And it looks really complicated on the diagram, but once you kind of get the flow, you see you don't even like the last 2 arms. Mm-hmm. I didn't even really have to look at the diagram because I had the flow of how it went.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, there's a flow. It looks crazy, but it's really not that hard.
It's there, yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then you're working on the brocade. Now, that the warning we've had with the brocade is to do it as you go. Don't wait till the end. Is it, because there's what, three layers to it?
Four layers.
4 layers.
Yes, I believe 4 layers.
But still pretty simple, just a matter of putting them together.
Well, yeah, it's just, the first is just a grid of backstitching. And then the second layer is doing, where's my book? So I can get the terms correct. Oops. And then the second layer is bound upright crosses. And then the third layer is these pulled corners. And then the fourth layer is putting on the beads.
Oh, okay. Okay, so
each
3 layers of stitching and then beads. Okay.
Right. And each individual layer is not difficult. It's simple, and it can go into the whole meditative stitching thing.
Uh-huh.
You don't have to look at the chart. You know what to do. You just go across and fill in the holes.
Yeah. Yeah, and we do the motifs first, and then that defines the brocade area, so you don't even have to think about that. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
okay. But
yeah, so it's
but definitely
really,
do them as you go.
Well, yeah. I mean, why not?
Yeah.
That way it breaks it up and gives you something. And then when you do go to that next, if you do a couple and then you do some more motifs, then you get to the brocade, you're like, oh, I know how to do this. I can kind of relax.
There you go. Yeah, now there's the plus right there. Yeah.
Yeah, it gives you a breathing space between the motifs, which are, you really have to focus on each one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it gives you a break. You're like, I've done this. I can do this. Relax. And then you're ready to get back to the work.
Yeah, those motifs, there's some things going on with those things. It's fun.
Yeah, so far though, they've been very simple. I feel they've been easy.
Yeah.
Satin stitches, cross stitches, nothing too taxing. But
Yeah.
now that interlaced thing was tricky. It looks harder than it is, I think.
But that's to me with any design. If you don't have something like that, that to me that adds that extra edge, that extra fun to the design. Test you, make you think, make you pay attention, and you come out with something, because that's really beautiful when you got it done and got it right. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it is.
So
it is really pretty, and you just look at it and you're like, wow, look what I did. Look how fancy that looks.
Yeah, and it does. It really looks rich and sophisticated. Yeah, it's really.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, you're flying. That's good. That's good. And Dima, I've been Dima Santina, who was is that right? Her last name? Yes. Yeah. She's been cooking right along too. I've been following her on Instagram.
Yep, me too.
Yeah, she's moving right along. So, yep. And then Karen Dudzinski, the designer, she's doing the Fiber Talk colorway.
Oh my gosh, it is so
How
beautiful.
How about that, huh?
I love it.
How about that? Oh.
Yes.
I know.
love that she's using the variegated floss in the outlines of the stars, and so it's switching it up a little,
Yep.
From the other. Oh, it's just so beautiful.
Yeah, that one. Well, I'll tell you, when I dropped into the Facebook group for Dawn to Dusk, from Dawn to Dusk, the other day, and I saw that, and I was working on Royal Garden. I almost just set that aside.
You're like, all right.
Oh yeah, I got to do this.
Next.
That's beautiful. It really is. Yeah, if you're interested, check that out, because it's a beautiful combination of blues that she did. It's gorgeous. Yep.
Right, and it even shows how you can, if you're making up your own colorway, you don't have to stick to solids where she does solids, or variegated where she does. You can switch it up.
Yep.
And because that's what she's doing on that one, is normally all of the satin stitch outline of the stars is solids, but she used a variegated, and it looks beautiful.
Yep. It really does.
Yeah, it is very stunning.
Yep. So that's and get in on it. Get in on it. We're working several big projects these days, so none of them going to get finished tomorrow.
Yeah.
So contact Karen Dudzinski and at Textured Treasures, and she'll fix you up with a kit. Yep. The other night on the live show, was it Friday night? We had a giveaway with three of her charts, and one was Crucifixo.
Yeah, Crucifixo,
yeah. Which I just put it in the pile of things to give away, and I really liked it, but I didn't really study it. And so we had a discussion about that, and kind of discovered along the way that it was basically a crucifix, and it was all cross stitch, and it's flat out beautiful. But it's an old chart, 2006. And so I wrote to her because somebody, I think it was Joni, wanted a copy and went to her store and couldn't get it. They didn't have it and didn't know when they could get it. So I wrote to her, and it is a discontinued copy, or discontinued design, but she does have some. She has a supply. So, so if you want that, and I did, and I ordered one. If you want that one, you'd have to go back and look in the Friday show, the Friday night live show, because we show it 2 or 3 times in there, and we ended up talking about it quite a bit. But if you're interested in that, it's a discontinued thing, but she does have some. Karen does have some, and I forewarned her that people might be hitting her up for a copy, and she said it was fine.
If she's the designer, can't she undiscontinue it?
Yeah.
I mean, she owns it, right?
Right. Undiscontinue it. Yeah.
Revive it, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. I don't know how that works with designers, though. At some point, I think, the inventory thing becomes an issue,
But there's digital download now.
Yeah.
The world has changed.
Yeah,
And there's
I'm not
digital
gonna.
download, and like, okay, so Brian Blitzstitch has this English garden sampler
Mm-hmm.
that he just finished. That is amazing. That I started a bazillion years ago, and it's by Teresa Wensler. So I was like, oh, I wonder what else, because now he started in Carthage Garden Sampler by Teresa Wensler. So I was like, oh, I wonder what else she has out there. And so I went to, like, some of the online stores, couldn't find anything. So I just typed in Teresa Wensler, and I found she has a page, a web page. And then it says, she's not selling her patterns there, but, oh, where was the website? There's another website that she has that sells her patterns.
Mm-hmm.
And so I went there, and they're all digital download, and I bought like 6. Yes. Hold on, let me.
Way to exercise that self-control. Yeah.
I know, it went out the door completely. Here it is. Patternsonline.com.
Oh, okay.
So I went to patternsonline.com, and I got, has these mini samplers. So they're small. They finish at, let's see, 6 3/4 by 4 3/4.
Oh,
and there's
okay.
like a miniature spring, summer, winter, and fall for autumn samplers. But they do all the fancy stuff she does with all the beads, the pulled threads, the fancy stitches. You get the full effect of all the things. But it's small, so it's like bite size, and it finishes small.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I bought all 4 of those because I was like,
because they're small.
Yeah, they're small, and you get a little, instead of doing a huge, gigantic one, it's going to take forever and take up a lot of space. You can do the small ones and then put them in a small frame or something and display them seasonally.
Yeah, yeah.
So I ordered those because I couldn't. And then where's that other one? Then she had this one. I really like ships and mermaids and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And that goes into my whole sci-fi fantasy thing that I like too. And she has this one called Trade Winds, which is a big ship with all the sails and stuff, and then 2 mermaids on the side. And I was just like, oh my gosh, it's gorgeous. I had to get that one too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dangerous. Yeah.
I know. And that's a bigger one. 11 by 7/8 by 15 on 28 count, but I'll probably do it on 32 count.
Okay, that'll knock an inch off.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that big of a difference, but I've discovered that on 32 count, I like how with 2 strands of floss, it makes a plumper.
Mm-hmm.
And on 28 count, I've been doing a lot on 28 count lately over 2, and it's thinner. It's a thinner coverage, which is fine. But I really prefer the plumper coverage. Yeah.
Oh, I agree with you. Yeah. I think. Yeah. There's a line in there where.
Mm-hmm. Unless I'm doing like a primitive or something where the thin coverage is more appropriate.
Yeah.
But I do like that thicker, plumper coverage. I've discovered.
Yeah. I think it gives it's richer. It's just richer. Yeah, I don't know what designers do. I don't know what it is. And I certainly wouldn't speak for any of them, where they retire designs other than, I'm tired. I would believe that a lot of it is I'm tired of printing off or hauling out for, one this month and another one 6 months from now. I'm just ending it. And, but I know that, you say times have changed, and I know that that's something that has happened with designers where someone will stitch a design that's old and all of a sudden there's demand for it. And, and I wrote to Karen, I said, hey, I hope we didn't do you a disservice here, but we talked about it and there seemed to be interest in the Crucifixo. So I hope I didn't do you a disservice. And she said she had a supply because, I was thinking, all right, if that's retired and she just doesn't want to deal with it anymore, for a short hit. And if she doesn't want to do digital downloads, because then that requires that you have a website set up for shopping. And,
Right.
So, she doesn't want to deal with that, then, then she retires it and that's it. But,
Yeah. So that's what I wonder about this patterns online. I think that, I'm not sure, but it seems to be, it's a place where they can put their patterns where somebody else deals with the website action for them.
Yeah.
Is what it seems to be.
Yeah.
Because all of Teresa Winsler's stuff, it's all there. And you go through Patterns Online to buy it. So maybe that's a way of offloading the having to deal with doing all that business part that you just don't want to do, because I don't think I'd want to do it.
Right.
I'm not positive, but that's kind of the feeling I got.
Well, it makes some sense. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I understand designers, they want to design. They got new pieces that they're trying to get produced and printed and out into the marketplace, and anything that detracts from that just delays getting the new designs out. So at some point they draw a line and say, hey, I'm just not doing that. I understand that. Because at some point you're messing around with these one-off sales or orders, and they're taking up time. And I don't know what it's like to be a designer, but I got to believe it's like anything else. You got to prioritize your time, and if you want to move the business forward, that's where the priority has to go, and something has to give. So,
right.
But that's Patterns Online. That's a nice outlet if that's where.
And I'm looking here, and they've got, you can like search by designer, and they've got a whole list of lots of people.
Yeah. Well,
so
that's worth checking out too.
Yeah, and
from the sounds of it, you don't need any willpower. You just show up and buy. So.
Yeah, it's bad. I know.
Haul out your credit card, show up, and just start spending money.
You don't even have to do that. If you have PayPal, you're good to go.
Oh, okay. So
it's even worse.
So you have this automated to the hilt then. Okay.
Yes. There have been ones where they didn't have PayPal, and I'm like, I don't need it that bad. And I didn't do it because there was no PayPal.
Well,
yeah.
Okay.
There have been times if there's not a PayPal link, it's not getting bought.
Oh, so that's where that's where the willpower comes in then. All right.
It does, because then I have to actually get up and go get my credit card and sit down and do it all. And then that's where it's like...
Oh, that's brutal. That's just brutal.
That's like putting like your ice cream and your naughty snacks in the freezer, in the basement, in the garage or something,
Okay.
It's like, how much do I want that snack? I have to get up. I have to go all the way out there. Seriously.
You're painting a very sad picture. Very sad.
Well, and sometimes you're like, I'll just drink some water. I'm not really hungry. My body's just thirsty. I'll just drink some water instead.
Wow. Okay. And that ends our little look into Jennifer's mind.
Well, sometimes I'll make oatmeal cookies, and they are so good. And so what we do is I freeze them, and I put them in the freezer. And then if I want a cookie, I have to defrost the cookie and wait for it to defrost, and then eat the cookie. So you really think about how bad you want that cookie.
Defrost a cookie?
Yes, a cookie. Maybe two.
Okay, this is tragic. This is just truly tragic.
The problem is, if you make a bunch of cookies, they're all sitting on the counter,
yes,
and you and the hubby just pig out on them.
Right.
And then, that's not good either. You want them to last. So you have to put them in the freezer to make them last. You take them out a couple at a time for, to control your consumption of the bad things.
I see. No, you see, you put them on a counter, and then as you walk by, you grab one.
That's the problem.
See, so like
it's not just one, you grab 5.
You're going out the door to the store or something, you grab a couple for the road. Yeah. That's how it works.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. I am a cookie monster. Hardcore. That is my downfall, are cookies. I like them a lot.
Defrosting 1 or 2. No, I can't get into that.
I've done it that way in the past. It's been a while. Now I'm just like, not even going to make the cookies.
Yeah, no, okay. All right. You play your little mind games. We're just going to have them on the counter here
Yep.
and grab a couple as you go by. Yeah. Yeah.
And then I have to hide like chocolates and stuff. I have to have my emergency chocolate because anybody who's a woman knows that there are times when you need chocolate. And if there's no chocolate in the house, somebody's going to die.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. So I have to hide my chocolate from my husband because he's a chocoholic.
Oh.
And he will eat all of my chocolate.
Oh, and then you,
So So
we,
we have a spot where we put the chocolate in the house where you have to go to a lot of effort to get to it. And then I even have an extra hidden spot of chocolate where he doesn't know where it is because he will eat all my chocolate, especially now that he's home all the time. It's a problem. Yeah, so now I hide my chocolate in another place. So, and I don't eat chocolate every day, but there are some times in the month that I need chocolate. And there better be chocolate to be had. People are in trouble.
and you're assuming he doesn't know. Okay.
No, he doesn't know about this one. I know he doesn't know.
Oh, okay.
He's not very good at finding things like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So one time, way back in the day, before we were married, I was at my parents' in Colorado, and he was at our apartment, and he's like, "Oh, I found it was one of those orange balls. They were like you get them at Christmas. They're the orange, and they're chocolate flavored orange slices, but it's like in the shape of an orange, but it's all chocolate."
Okay.
I don't know if you've ever seen those.
Nope.
Anyway, he's like, "Oh, I found where you hid the orange slice thing." And I was like, "Oh, you looked in the cookie jar in the cabinet behind the blah, blah, blah." He's like, "Nope, but thanks for telling me." He
Oops.
tricked me. And that's the one and only time I ever fell for that.
Oops.
And he wasted that one before we even got married. So.
Yeah, slipped up there. Yeah.
Yep, but then he found the chocolate, and I was like, "Oh." Yeah, anyway.
Yeah.
What were we talking about before we got
Well, actually, what I was going to ask you, because we were having a conversation the other day by email that really got me thinking. Because you know how we all have, well, I shouldn't say we all, a good number of needleworkers have stash, and then they have projects that are at one stage or another.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't finish them, and some you just know you're never going to finish.
Right.
You know, you just know you're never gonna. You just grew to hate it, fell out of love with it, whatever it is.
There's something about it. You were stitching it, and there's memories associated that you're just like, every time I look at that, those memories come back, and it's not good.
Yeah.
And I just can't shake it after 26 years.
You know.
Yeah, I have one of those.
Yeah. Okay. You know, but I was kind of looking through my stuff when we were having that discussion, and the question was, all right, at what point do you just pitch it?
Yeah.
You know, do you put the threads back in stash and just throw the thing away? Or do you pull out the threads and use the ground cloth for something else? But at what point, you know, and if it has bad memories, I mean, to me, you just throw all of it away and just never think about it again.
I know, because every time I pull out that project and I look at it, and I'm like, it just all comes back, and I don't know if I can shake it, you know?
And see, and I would suggest it's not worth it. I would suggest that when you get to that in that particular instance, but in general, where you know you're never going to finish it, just get rid of it.
Yeah. I have that one, and then I have this one. It's on black Monaco. Maybe it was Monaco back when they used to make it, some sort of even weave. And oh my gosh, and it's like a tiger. And first of all, I have some of that fabric, and I tried stitching something on it recently, and my eyes cannot, I don't know how, I was young. I was in my early 20s, and I was stitching on that. My eyes are just like, no, this fabric's crazy. You can't. So I have that one partially finished, and then I have that other one that I don't know. I don't know if I'm ever gonna. I might just cut off. I haven't done a whole lot. I might just cut that section off. It goes bye-bye, and then I have all the rest of the fabric to do something else with.
Right. Because I don't believe
a lot of fabric.
Yeah, and I don't believe you ever throw away threads. Keep them.
Back then I didn't kit things up. I didn't have money to do that. I was poor. There was no money afford. That's why I also had one project at a time. I didn't have all these different projects going on. I did one thing at a time because I could afford to do one thing at a time.
Mm-hmm.
It's only now that I have extra money to fling around that I've gotten this ginormous stash and 1,000 projects.
PayPal. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and also with like crochet, I could do one project at a time. And sometimes I couldn't even buy all of the yarn at once. I had to buy it one skein at a time.
Oh, okay.
And luckily I used Red Heart, which has no dye lot. It's like DMC.
Uh-huh.
It's the DMC of yarn.
Yeah.
But I couldn't afford to buy a bunch at once. I mean, I was poor. I was on a tight budget.
So, yeah. But I just think, because see, I have one project. It's a charted canvas project, and I really like it. The thing is, I really like it, but it has been sitting around for years, wrapped up, sitting around for years. And the reason I stopped, is because the chart has errors in it. And I discovered the error not because the designer posted about it or has an error correction page on her website or anything like that. I discovered it the hard way and had to tear out one side.
Oh, like a big side?
Yeah, because this is a big piece, and I was not happy. And I wrote to her and I said, I found this error. I think you should be aware of it. Is there a place that you post errors? No response whatsoever.
Oh.
And so it obviously made me mad because, I don't want to be stitching along. And, people have errors. I mean, that happens all the time. But it's acknowledging them and making them available that is the key. I mean, I publish a magazine, and I've said when Marga first started working with me, she was, we're going to do the perfect issue this month. I said, there's never been one, and there never will be one, because it doesn't matter how hard you work. When that printed piece comes out, there's going to be a place where there should have been a comma, and and so
you instantly find it.
Well, of course, yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's like, and it's so obvious, and you're like, oh, how did I miss that?
And it took her a while, but she realized that it was never going to be. But so I know what to publish charts. I know what people go through, and every now and then there's going to be an error, but it's acknowledging them, and so that one just sits there. But I really like it, and so I'm back and forth, and we were having that discussion yesterday or the day before, whatever day it was, doesn't matter.
Right.
My mind went right to that one. At some point, either do it or throw it out, because.
Right.
Do it and watch for the errors. And then I'd heard from others that there were other errors in that chart, and I'd like to know what they are. But
right, have you checked to see if she has maybe published something recently? And nothing.
No, there's no acknowledgement. There's no nothing. So.
And nobody else has gone to the trouble of going and fixing all the errors themselves and posting it in some sort of a Facebook group or anything.
I haven't looked that far. It's just,
okay.
It wasn't worth that much effort to me. It was just
okay.
Okay, this is just
that
annoying.
Kind of sounds like you're ready to pitch it then.
Yeah, and so then we were having that exchange. It was like I might just yank this off the rack and just throw it away. And
right. Can you remove all the stuff and save the canvas?
Yeah, I could.
Because that part doesn't have to go. It's not. It's not the poor canvas's fault.
I know. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's a good point. The poor canvas
is like, it wasn't me. I'm a good canvas.
Yeah. So that was one, and then there was a couple more that just kind of stuck out and said, you really ought to think about whether you want to keep that. And I don't know. It's just an interesting question in what you do. And then some people will argue that no, hang on to it, because there'll come a day when you'll find a new love for it, if you will, and you'll want to stitch it and you'll finish it and you'll be glad you didn't throw it away. And so, okay.
I've been waiting 26 years for that day to come, and it's still, I took that thing and it's still not coming. No.
Not happening.
And it's a Teresa Winsler, so that's why I went to her website and I found other things to love of hers that are smaller. Yes. So maybe that's a clue to me that it is time to let it go.
Yeah, that one maybe. Yeah.
Let it go. Throw all those memories that came with it away. Let it all go.
and move on to one of the other 50 you bought.
Exactly, because there are like, okay, so have you seen that Let Freedom Ring by Lila's studio, I think it is?
No, don't know that one.
Oh my gosh, it's that gigantic one. Hang on, let me look. No, that's not what I want. There we go. Let me find it. Aha, Let Freedom Ring. Yeah, it's by Lila's studio, and it's the big one that has like maybe it's in the Philadelphia Capitol building or something, and it's got the Liberty Bell on it, and it's big.
Okay.
And I really, really like it, and I bought it, and I have the chart, and a lot of people are doing it, but it's a biggie, and I want to do that one like really bad, but I've got to finish these other things that are lingering.
Okay.
I really want to finish these other things.
Okay. Well.
Yes.
You work that out.
I know. Like I've got the August quilt of the season by Paula Vaughn, and I'm on to the point. I'm at the back stitching of the leaves and the vines of the rose bush, and I'll tell you what. When I was doing these things when I was much younger, I had no problem looking at the chart, and the chart's all tiny and the lines, and I could see it no problem. And now I'm like, I'm having trouble because I'm older and my eyes are not the same. And I even took a picture of it and then put it in my my iBooks so that you can enlarge it.
Yeah.
And that helps a lot. It helps a lot.
Yeah.
But it's like, wow. And I didn't realize how hard hard. They're very intense with it's like semi-full coverage. It's lots and lots of back stitching.
Mm-hmm.
And most of the popular charts these days are just cross stitching, no back stitching.
Yeah.
It's much simpler and easier, although still very intricate and detailed and beautiful, but it's totally different.
Yeah, you don't see a lot of back stitching anymore.
Yeah. And I like that, especially, those charts have a lot of the quarter stitches and 3/4 stitches.
Yeah, yeah.
Which make a huge difference.
Oh,
but
yeah.
a lot of people do not like doing them. No. And now that I'm older, it is more challenging.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say I don't like doing them because I still like it. And I have a few patterns where they don't do that, and they have the back stitching, and then it goes over, and then you have some of the cross stitches hanging out of the outline. I cannot handle that.
Yep.
That's like putting on your lipstick and having it go all over your face to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, that those quarter and half stitches to me are valuable. I've got a couple of old charts that are full of those, and to me they make a huge difference, especially obviously on angled pieces or angled areas, but it's a huge difference. Because back stitching only covers so much, and
right.
Yeah, no, I think they're worth doing, even if a more modern, more recent design doesn't have them. I think they're worth putting in. Yeah,
I do. I put them in. It takes a little bit more effort of thinking, but not that much. But I do put them in because they make a big difference. And, I even do it on Ada. Back when I first started, those Calico Kittens, those had the quarter and the half and the 3/4. And on Ada, it's not a problem because if you look at the Ada fabrics, they have 4 threads that go each way. And then there's 2 that lay on top and then 2 that lay under, and then the other 2 go the opposite way. And what you have to do with your needle is you go down and you divide those top 2, and then you divide the next bottom 2, and you're right in the middle, and it's not a problem.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's how I started cross stitching. Was on Ada doing halves and 3/4, and I had no problem with it.
Yeah.
So it can be done on Ada too.
Yeah. Yeah.
You just have to look closely at the fabric and know how to divide the threads up.
It can be done. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's an interesting design feature. Well, two of them actually, partial stitches and back stitching that have really kind of faded to the background. And
yeah, they've gotten lost because I don't know, because you have to pay a little bit more attention.
I think people I think it's the quarter and half stitches. I don't know about those, other than people just don't want to deal with them. But the back stitching, you know, there aren't a whole lot of people who say, I can't wait till I get to the back stitch part. You know, most people, but for me, it's, if you don't do it as you go along, you'll never do it. At least for me. So I never
had that.
Oh, see, I make a point to do them as I go along, because once I throw that last X in, it's like, oh, I'm done. Oh no, I'm not. So no, I like to do them as I go along, and then when it's done, it's done. Yeah.
Maybe it's because, you know, when I started, I just looked at the books and followed the instructions in the books, and they all said do all the cross stitching first and the back stitching last.
Oh.
And so that's what I did.
Yeah.
And so to me, it was like you make the cake first, then you ice it, then you put on the decorative details.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
You know, that's how it was. So for me, the back stitching is the decorative details.
What makes such a huge difference?
Yeah, and I save it to last, and it makes it all come alive, and I like it. But I know some people, you know, they have to do it the other way. It's just whatever your personality is, I guess, too.
Right. Yeah, no, I do them as I go along, because that's my personality. I get to the end, and no, I'm not going to go back through all that. Forget it. But then when you do, it changes the whole piece, and
absolutely,
it's so much better. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yep. So
then Deb from the Country Stitchers, she adds back stitching in where no back stitching exists, and my goodness, she does amazing. The way she can take a pattern and adapt it and add and move stuff around is just stunning.
Yep. Yeah, she has a real knack for that. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Yeah, that Friday night show when she was on and took us through all that, you just kind of go, holy smokes, that's
I know.
That's a new level. Yeah.
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 I love what she does. She takes those country cottage and little house, little little, you know, 9 or 12 series, and she does them her own way, and oh my goodness.
Yeah. Yeah, they become a whole different piece, yeah.
Yeah.
She is good.
Wow. I know.
She is good. All right. I think that's going to be enough, huh?
Oh, okay.
I think so. Sunday, Amina K from Stitch Floral and Amina K Designs. She is in Moscow. And yes, first time I've had someone from Russia or that part of the world in general.
Right.
And fascinating conversation with her. Really, really interesting and a very thoughtful needleworker. Her blog, Stitch Floral is her blog, is worth following, because very, very insightful individual. Really, really enjoyed talking to her, and always enjoy reading her stuff. So that's Sunday.
Nice.
So there we have it. So tonight, it's Jennifer and me stitching. Friday night, we need a guest. I need a guest. I need a guest. And then no live shows next week. And then we start on the back with live shows on the 7th with Gayanne Rogers when she introduces the new design.
Yeah, that'll be pretty.
Yep.
And a great way to start back.
Yeah. But I'm wrong, because at Monday Night Hearts, we're going to be live on the 28th.
Right.
I got that wrong. I knew I had it wrong. So Monday night, the 28th, 8 o'clock Eastern time on the YouTube channel. I'll put out promotion things for it. Gayanne Rogers, and we'll start stitching Monday Night Hearts, or Monday Hearts, we're calling it. Hashtag FT Monday Hearts. And then, so then it's going to be Gayanne Rogers on Monday, and then back on the following Wednesday, the 7th, Oh, that new design. People are going to love it.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Going to go crazy. So that's good.
Sure.
Okay, get your orders in for Meditates, Fiber Talk Meditates at Sassy Jacks or Avalia.life. Get your order in if you want to do the basket weave one. Or if you don't like the basket weave one, go to Avalia.life and look for designs with a little M next to them. Those are meditative stitching. And see if you don't find something there you like. Either way. And Kim carries all the Avalia charts. So if you find one of those and you want to kit it up, call Kim. She'll fix you up at Sassy Jacks. That's
nice.
enough.
You get to try some new fancy thread.
That's right. That's right. Okay. Thanks for listening.
Awesome. All right. Bye.